Times women get exposed on paternity court.
You were being deceptive.
What? What the heck is that?
Lying.
But see, that's one reason why I brought her to court today, because I want the truth to come out. We're gonna shame the devil and the truth coming out today.
You are not her father. So, did Mr. Richardson start off as a side piece, Miss Robbins?
Of course I was.
Yes.
The 56-year-old Miami man is paying child support for a child who might not be his.
Mr. Green,
Man,
you
that's
claim your rights as a potential father to the child in question today, 2-year-old Angel Bryant, were basically stolen from you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yet, you maintain you still assume financial responsibility for Angel just in case she's indeed yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, this is how Mr. Green got sapped into paternity.
So now, was this a committed relationship? Ms. Duncan, did you tell him that you were in a relationship with somebody else at the time?
He knew I was talking to someone, but I told him we broke up, but I was still talking to him.
And you weren't just talking to him?
No.
You were still having sex with him, too?
Yes.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know nothing about a relationship.
Quite a way of starting a relationship, isn't it?
But see, that's one reason why I brought her to court today, because I want the truth to come out. We're gonna shame the devil and the truth coming out today.
So when you told him you were pregnant, he says he was shocked. How did that come across to you through the phone? Did you feel like he didn't care, or did he sound happy?
Yes, I felt that he didn't care.
So did you tell the other guy you were pregnant too?
I haven't seen the other guy until after I got out the hospital.
Mr. Green further disclosed why he had reservations.
Be the child's father, I would have been there at the time of birth, and also my name would be on the birth certificate, Your Honor.
And so that's not the case?
No. In fact, while she was pregnant, I was informed that she would call me. I said, well, call me when you get ready to have the child so I can be there at birth. I would like to cut the cord. So she's gonna call me. I'm not worrying about it. That didn't happen.
And she never called?
Never received the call.
I'm sure that there is no happy place to be at.
At what point did you find out there was another man in the picture?
I'm getting to that right now, Your Honor.
Okay.
It was like 6 or 7 months down the road after doing her pregnancy. Then she told me the baby may not be yours. That's after 6 or 7 months.
Of pregnancy or
Yes.
when the baby was born?
6 or 7 months doing pregnancy.
All right.
And that's why I found out the baby may be who she said it may be.
Well, the mother denied all of these accusations.
About 6 or 7 months after you was pregnant, said the baby may not be yours. It may be you know who. So I took that kind of hard. You said he was using protection, but it broke.
Yes,
That's
I told
just
you
what those
that. I
exact
told
words.
you that I was what?
Okay,
3 months
You
pregnant.
told me that 6
Now
or
you're
7
gonna
months.
tell I'm 6 and 7
You was
months?
about to have the baby almost about 4 more months to go.
So, Mr. Green, when you say you know who, did you ever meet this other guy?
Not too afterwards.
But on Mr. Green's account, the other guy was persistent that he was the father.
I don't know if it was a birthday or Mother's Day. Okay, I took her home, and he was outside waiting for her, and that kind of hurt. And he said, I come to see my daughter, my daughter. I said, that's your daughter, that's my daughter. And that's like embarrassing, you know. He was already there waiting for her to come home. I even questioned him. I said, if you know the child's not yours, why would you sign the birth certificate knowing the child is not yours? And I had no comment.
Wow, things are just getting fishier.
Did you ask him if he thought he was
I
the
didn't
baby's
really,
father?
I really didn't see him till after the child was born.
When did you come see the child? Well, how old she was? 2, 3 months?
About 1 month.
And the other guy was there for me. You wasn't really giving me nothing.
I know that.
How was I playing you, Mr. Green? How?
How? Every time the baby needs shoes, the baby needs pampers, the baby needs this, your daughter needs this. How do I know it's my daughter?
After that revelation, more truth started coming out.
The other guy was around all the way through my pregnancy.
Really? Was
Yes.
he at the birth too?
Yes.
Oh, so hold on now. If the other guy was there, you called him and he didn't answer. Did you gonna
I
have them
already
both
called
there?
him. No.
So after he didn't answer, then you called the other guy.
Yes.
Looks like that defendant had both of them wrapped around her finger good.
And the baby was born, you put his name on the birth certificate.
Yes, I have evidence.
So this is you in the hospital with your beautiful new baby and the other gentleman with you. And so you decided just to put his name on the birth certificate.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, you did make a decision because, as Mr. Green said, you could have just said there are 2 possible fathers. I'm gonna leave it blank until I have a DNA test.
Thank you.
You're right,
There it
Your
is.
Honor.
I think it's time to sort this out.
In the case of Duncan versus Green, when it comes to the paternity of 2-year-old Angel Bryant, Mr. Ronald Green, you are not her father.
Defamation trial is on in paternity court. as the mistress and her daughter want their share of paternal benefits.
Ms. Love and Ms. Willis, now you're suing the defendant Karen Williams for $5,000 for defamation of character. You say she's destroyed your family name by claiming your father cheated on your mother with her, and this affair produced her daughter Stephanie,
Yes, Your Honor.
who you say is not your father's daughter.
Yes, Your Honor. No.
Judge Lake started by asking this question.
Ms. Love, after all these years, why do you finally bring the defendants to court today?
Because I'm tired of Miss Karen Williams going around town telling people that my father fathered her child.
And so how long has this been going on?
I'm 35, so about 30 years.
All this time?
All this time.
And you're just coming to court today?
Yes.
The plaintiff came with strong claims, but they could explain why they believed so.
From the time I was about 6 years old, this been going on with Miss Karen. She done followed us in stores, workplaces,
Jobs, everywhere.
everywhere.
And I got proof she's not.
So you say for 30 years people been following you saying?
that she is my father's daughter, and she's not.
Ms. Williams, have you been following them around saying?
No, Your Honor, I do not know them. I met them in '94. What I've told is true, and this is his daughter.
However, the defendant proposed that she had no idea about their father being committed to someone else.
So when you were involved with their father, did you know he was involved with their mother?
No, I didn't even know he was married at the time I was involved with him.
How long did this relationship last?
I'll say about a year.
About a year or so. And you felt you all were exclusive. You were only
Yes,
sleeping
Your-
with him?
Yes,
No.
Your Honor.
Even Miss Williams stood strong with her mother's claims.
I was told by my father who my father was. He came to my house.
Yes.
I was about 7 or 8, and he explained to me who he was. He was my father. He gave me his phone number. I mean, reluctantly, my mother didn't want me to call because when I did call, I was cursed out by, I don't know, I'm assuming it was their mother. B, don't call here anymore. He's not your father. I was 7 to 8 years old.
Wow, tough crowd. Looks like the stepsisters are not ready to believe anything Miss Williams is throwing in court.
My dad didn't see his checks they was direct deposit to the bank account. My mom did the balance of the banks and statements and all that. So what she noticed was money being taken out. So when he found out it was child support for Miss Stephanie, he wanted to have a blood test done.
I do not know anything of child support. I was cut off of assistance when my test was taken, my attorney test was taken.
Loopholes and dead ends. These testimonies are not leading to any conclusion.
I am the baby, and the other ones are supposed to be under me, and they not even around.
Your
They
Honor.
mamas ain't popping up. Her mama been doing this for 30-some years, just like my
So
brother
Ms.
said.
Williams, what do you have to add to this, Mom?
Your Honor, I wanted to say, through all the confusion, I did not know his children, and I'm not here for his children. I'm here for my daughter, and I want the closure for my daughter to let her know that her mother knows who her father is.
Let's see who is testifying and who is test-lying.
In the case of Love Willis versus Williams, when it comes to 34-year-old Stephanie Williams, as to whether the deceased Andre Willis was her biological father, it has been determined by this court. Miss Stephanie Williams, Mr. Andre Willis was not your father.
Told you!
A married woman was swindling around, and now her baby is paying the price.
Mr. Richardson, you claim you made a huge mistake.
I mean-
You signed the birth certificate of the defendant's 2-month-old son, DeMarlon, even though you doubt you are his father. You want to prove your case before you end up paying child support for a baby you know isn't yours. Ms. Robbins, you say the plaintiff's only mistake is denying your son. Is that correct?
That is correct.
When the judge asked the plaintiff how he met the lady at the podium, he narrated this story.
I met her at a club, came, approached her, didn't think she was gonna give me the time of day or nothing. And we got to talking, and then she told me, she said, I'm married, but, when she said the word but, that means I'm willing to maybe see you or something, play around with you.
So did Mr. Richardson start off as a side piece, Ms. Robbins?
Of course I would.
Yes.
No, that sounds bad, doesn't it?
Take me to the point in time when you found out you were pregnant.
I wasn't feeling good, so I decided to go get a pregnancy test, and it was positive. I also got another pregnancy test because Mr. Richardson, he's so doubtful on a lot of things. We took the pregnancy test together in the bathroom, sat it on the counter, and we watched it.
So it seems evident that a person can doubt such a situation.
Tell me if there's any other reason you have doubt.
Oh my God, there's a million, but I'm gonna try to narrow down to at least 1 or 2. I went to one doctor's appointment with her, right? And then I went to go to the other ones. She told me, no, you don't have to come.
I don't need
said,
you to
why?
hold my hand.
I don't need you to hold my hand.
You're telling me
That's what made
he's
you-
not mine, this is not my baby, all this do the whole time.
Exactly.
So why would I let you be a part of that?
Turns out that mommy had even ditched a DNA test before.
I'm I'm the one who
asked her.
agreed on DNA, even though
And I
that's all
asked
you
her.
talked
But
about.
did you go to the appointment?
No,
We did
Your
not.
Honor.
Why? If he was at your house at 3
didn't do it.
o'clock.
I just, at that time,
And that
I
made me
didn't do it. I
suspicious.
wasn't worried about anything. It's just that I had other things that I had in
What were you
plan.
doing? You were just
Other
sitting in the
things-
house.
Other plans to do. I was
What,
on maternity
watching TV?
leave.
All of this back and forth brought Judge Lake to conclude things like this.
He's been having doubts about you all along. I can see this conversation we're having today. It's not the first time, probably won't be the last. In this moment in time, you have the opportunity to resolve all of this and shut him up.
Put a zip on.
And Lord knows,
Oh my.
we need that to happen.
She further went on like this.
I don't understand why after you make that appointment and he's there, do you not get yourself and your baby packed up and just get it done? As much as Mr. Richardson talks, the truth is I see how he could be doubtful, and now I'm trying to figure out why are you resentful of the doubt that you placed in his mind?
That is unfair indeed.
He's sitting up here 2 months old, and his potential father is denying him. His mother can't make it to the DNA test, and now you all set up in here for 30 minutes arguing back and forth, doing a he said, she said, when you all have had every opportunity to resolve this.
Exactly.
But instead, you run your mouth so long that you gotta now come to the courtroom to get it done.
Okay, let's get that result.
In the case of Richardson versus Robbins, when it comes to 2-month-old DeMarlon Richardson, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Richardson, you are the father. You really didn't know?
He doubted it the whole time.
Exactly.
Biased treatment has brought Miss Douglas to paternity court, but the husband is the only one to be blamed in this situation.
Ms. Douglas, you claim at times the defendant, Mr. Jones, doesn't treat your daughter Cheyenne as his own, and that he has always been suspicious he's not her biological father. Mr. Jones, you claim you have every reason to doubt you are Cheyenne's father. You are seeking a definitive answer when today's DNA results are revealed.
The plaintiff admitted to cheating right at the beginning of the trial.
Ms. Douglas, you admit to cheating. Do you believe the defendant has reason to doubt the paternity of Cheyenne?
Yes, Your Honor, I do, because I did make a mistake. I slept with his cousin, and the condom had broke. But before that, Tyrone was downstairs sleeping with my cousin. He was still having sex with his baby's mom.
That was a mouthful.
What an odd situation we got here.
I want to find out how this relationship began. How did you meet?
I
Was
met
this
Tyrone.
relationship ever good?
It got good. I met Tyrone actually at a party that happened downstairs in my building. I met him and his cousin. We just had sex, and after that, he went back to his other baby's mom. After that, I found out I was pregnant. I called him, and I told him I was pregnant. But a week before I had my daughter, he was actually there. He signed a birth certificate, and after that, he was a good dad.
We got to know that though Miss Douglas was coming clean in court, she previously denied it.
I was gonna deny the whole thing, but he actually went in my room and actually smelled the bed and actually said it smelled like his cousin. I ended up telling him the truth though. 2 years after my daughter was 2, I ended up telling him the truth.
How long did it take you to tell the truth?
After my daughter was 2 years old.
In this, are you in a committed relationship?
No, but when I was pregnant, he didn't care.
Those are quite the revelations.
When the baby was 2, he went to Chicago with his other's baby mama. We were together then, and I'm pregnant with his son. How I knew he was in Chicago with his baby mama was she texted my phone like, oh, you're looking for your man? He's with me. You wonder why he's not calling your daughter? Because he's with me. That's how I knew he was in Chicago.
Because I was actually with my other baby mom before I was actually with Alexandra.
Okay.
All this tingled Judge Lake's nerves badly.
It's as if you're speaking about this thing like it's, oh yeah, because I was with my other child's mother and I just went on to Chicago and then you all 5 children potentially together. Was your relationship ever committed? Was it ever an important thing to either one of you? Are we just making babies? Is it a baby factory? What is it?
However, Miss Douglas tried to defend herself in court and failed miserably.
I just had my twins 7 months ago. He's still talking to women. I don't never talk to anybody first. After I find out he cheats on me, that's when I do it. But I really do want to be with him, and I want to make a family for my 5 kids.
Now, at some point, the tit for tat, it just turns into a catastrophe.
And this also came up.
She actually slept with that person last month. My twins is only
And he had
6
sex
months
with my
or 7
cousin
months.
Before I had sex with his
so
cousin
it's
last
actually-
month. It's
it's-
always
So
him that
wait
starts.
a minute now, you had sex with his cousin again last month?
And he had sex with my cousin again 3 months ago, before I did it.
This doesn't make sense at all.
If I have doubts because you steady going back with the same cousin, which the whole reason I'm here is for the paternity.
It's okay, basically, right?
All right, I admit, I had
It's a different
two
cousin.
things with two of her cousins, which, all right. But it's not like I'm here to question the paternity of their kids. I'm here to protect.
Oh, well,
So
how
it's-
big of you?
Okay, these guys are just on repeat, aren't they?
How in the world can you potentially have 5 children with this woman and be so irresponsible and disrespectful that you continue to sleep with her family member?
No.
The day she laid down with your supposed father of your children, she's no longer your favorite cousin. Let me give you that.
Time to end this mess.
In the case of Douglas versus Jones, when it comes to 4-year-old Cheyenne, Mr. Jones, you are not fine.
Looks like that doubt roller coaster had not reached its end for the McCrorys, as they're back at it again with the same question.
Mr. McCrory, you realize you have good reason to doubt your son Keith's paternity, and now your marriage is on the rocks.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. McCrory, you claim your daughter's results surprised you, but you're confident your husband fathered your 3-year-old son, and you hope to prove it today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, looks like the woman knew what she was doing.
So you felt like we're broken
It's
up.
my business.
But when you get pregnant,
I'm not gonna have a new woman in the bed 3 days later because, you know, the death do us part. For 2 days, she ignored me. Finally, I get a hold of her, and there's a guy in the background, and she's claiming it's her brother. But the whole time we're together, she never comes over, and he lives 2 blocks away. And then when I say that to her, she's like, oh, well, my friends are here. I gotta go. You know, we're just chilling, blah, blah, blah.
And she was sure that the plaintiff was the father.
during the pregnancy with Keith Jr., you never told him, even after the birth.
No, because I just 1,000% know that's his child right there. That's his kid. It's gonna come back. She's gonna come back. It's his child.
You find out you're
I wasn't
pregnant and
married
you
at the
slept
time.
with 2. No, we're not on the marital part.
Well, the fact is, it's his kid. 1,000% sure.
You're that certain.
Yes.
But she was acting the same as last time, too.
But you were also very certain when it came to Nevaeh. I remember this attitude. You acted just like this the last time you were in court about Nevaeh.
Yep, but it wasn't it.
And it
wasn't-
was not.
No, it wasn't. People make mistakes. It's like,
Mr. McCrory is truly doubting you.
he didn't doubt it the whole time we were together. The whole time the kid's been born, he hasn't doubted that kid at all until this last case with Nevaeh. And then you're gonna bring it
Your
up?
Honor.
Why didn't he bring it up a long time ago?
FYI, the guy the defendant cheated with was still part of their lives.
This was supposed to be my friend and her friend. He comes over our house, he chills out, he would come to the house and drink with us and crash on the couch for the night.
And this is the person she slept with?
Yeah, Your Honor. If she's lying to me and it's not my son, I'm not gonna stay with her. I'm gonna leave her. I mean, I'm not gonna be with somebody who lied to me about my son.
So the stakes are that high?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long have you guys been married?
We've been married for 3 years, been together for 4.
Really?
Someone else being Keith's father was taking a toll on the plaintiff.
My name's on the birth certificate. I have that with me here today.
You brought the birth certificate?
I got a copy of it.
Let me see that.
I was excited when Keith was born. I've always wanted a son that I can give my last name to that can share that bond of a junior and that can pass that on to his son.
The truth is, because she did have unprotected sex with somebody else, it's possible that this little boy is not yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's been eating away at you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nonetheless, Mrs. McCrory was still hung up on her initial statement.
The truth is that there is at least one other possible father for Keith Jr.
Not to me, no. He is the father.
Well, we've heard this before, so it concerns you that she's still in contact
Yes.
with this person.
Well, I'm gonna obviously be in contact with the person. I tried to tell him about it just in case it wasn't, but I know 1,000% sure he's the father. He's gonna look stupid.
Okay, let's see what the lie detector test has to say.
You were asked if you had sexual intercourse with the other possible father of Keith Jr. other than the 2 times you previously admitted. You said no. The lie detector determined you were being deceptive.
What? What the heck is that?
Lying.
No, that's not. That don't make no sense.
There's no way to get around this woman, is there?
This led you to this point in your marriage, Miss McCrory. Do you get it?
I get it. It's just I don't understand like why we're even here.
I still love my son and I'm still there for him. But I want to raise my son Keith. I want to give him my last name and have him give the junior on to his son to play ball with him, to, you know, toss the baseball, you know, play sports with.
Let's get to the conclusion.
In the case of McCrory versus McCrory, when it comes to 3-year-old Keith McCrory Jr., it has been determined by this court, Mr. McCrory, you are the father.
See, I told you so.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor.